So again, we've got a calculator question. Omar's got £3,000, which he's going to invest for 3 years. So let's underline that. That'll be useful. And he's got two options. He can put it in a savings account where he's getting 2.5% each year. And that you would assume would be a compound thing. I think it would have said simple if it was a simple interest. So that'll be a compound interest. So every year he's getting kind of interest on his interest. We've already talked in kind of detail about that, but if you think if you invest £1,000 and you get a very small amount of interest, so say you've got even just 2%, if you look at that over the course of say your lifetime, put that in a bank account for your whole life, what do we get for that? 1,000 times 1.02 to the power of 30, you're then left with 1,811. Now, isn't that incredible? Just that tiny percentage of 2%, which doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Over a kind of average working life-ish, not quite. It's going up and up, that's the French. But yeah, you're almost doubling that, aren't you? 2% over your, it doesn't sound like a lot, but the interest on the interest is like a big snowball kind of going down a hill where you start to pick up more and more and more to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's my drawing of a snowball down the hill. Never took art, apologies. But do you know what I mean? You collect the interest on the interest, on the interest, on the interest, on the interest, so it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's kind of what a lot of savings and pensions and futures are based on. It's why we can all retire. So anyway, determine which options you get that one, and then you've also got a 3-year investment or a guaranteed £80 for every 1,000 invested. So again, I would be talking about the savings, and I'd be talking about the stocks. And again, get your headings down just so you're not mixing things up. So for the savings, we're looking at his amount, 3,000 multiplied by, and it's 1 plus 2.5 over 100 to the power of 3. That's our standard equation. We've got plus because it's an increase, 2.5 is our percentage, 3 is the number of years. So get that in your calculator, 3,000 times. Make sure you write it as I've got it on the page there. So it's bracket 1 plus 2.5% over 100. It's exactly as it's written on the page. You don't need to do anything else. BODMAS kind of works. So if you do 1 plus 2.5% there, divide by 100, and that will come out as 3,230, and it's money, so I'd always do that to 2 decimal places, that's fine. And this one, you're saying you're getting £80 for every 1,000, so it's £80, equals £1,000 invested. So that means if I've got £3,000 invested, and I love writing things out like this, but you can't quite see the end, it doesn't matter. I love writing it out like this because it helps us with our ratios, how do I get from 1,000 to 3,000? Well, times by 3. So I have to do the same on this side because there's a proportional relationship there. So that'd be £240 gained, yeah? So that means he's up £240 there. On this one, he's up £230.67. So therefore the stocks are better. Yeah, the stocks are better as £240 is greater than 230.67. I noticed I was kind of doing like for like in the end there. I could have put down, I suppose, 1,080 times that by 3. That would be like his final amount, if you know what I mean. But I've just looked here at the what is he gaining, and here that's the total amount. So that's the total amount. So then I've said, well, what's the gain? Just so you've got a like for like comparison. If you look at this versus this, you'd say, well, this is much better. But that's me comparing the total amount in the bank, whereas this is just the extra. So make sure you watch out for that. And last little question on this video. So stamp by is a rare stamp. What they call it? Is it Francophiles? I can't remember the name for stamp collector. Sam buys a rare stamp for his stamp collection at an auction. He buys a stamp for £920. Okay, so we've got £920 is the price, the amount. Very good. Now it increases in value by 7% in the first 2 years. Okay, so increases, so plus 7% for 2 years, and then it decreases. So one take away 4 over 100 for the next year. Now you don't have to write it. There's like a little 1 up there. You don't have to write that. Power of 1, it just stays the same. But just so you can see that it's still a compound question effectively, but there's no compound. calculate the value of the stamp. So yeah, that's your amount multiplied by 1 plus the 7 because it's increased for 2 years, and then 1 take away the 4 for just that final year. Very good. So on your calculator, that will come out as that. And again, we've got 3 significant figures. So I've used this, I've used this, I've used this. I've just not used this. So 1, 2, 3 significant figures. That's going to then give me 1001, and I need the 0 for the place value. As I said before, I do not want any decimals in there. That would be wrong. Okay, but I need this 0 here to give me place value. Otherwise, I've got 101, which is nothing like 1011. Nice one. Okay, and that is the last video for the last question in this video. So just to kind of recap again what we've been doing, that was very much kind of compound questions. So that's an equation for compound. The 1 plus or minus percentage over 100 to the power of n. Remember that, okay? And if n is 1, you're just increasing or decreasing. Okay, so it's okay to have that as 1, that's fine. Or just not have any number there. That just means you've increased it by that amount. Okay? And the videos before, we were looking at the non-calculator fraction work, where we're saying that percentages are linked to fractions. So 40% is 40 out of 100. And if you do 40 divided by 100, you would get 0.4. That's how they relate to decimals. That's what that divide by 100 is all about. And yeah, we also talked about how to work out percentage of an amount using the ratio. So amount is 100%, divide by 10 gets you 10%, divide by 10 again gets you 1%, divide by 2 for 5%, divide by 2 for 0.5%. If you do this, you can work out any percentage you like by hand. And that's a very similar method we use for ratio and the kind of inverse proportion calculations as well. So it's a really good skill to know that one. So that's us hit most of them. We've got 2 more questions to do in the next video, and that's what it's done.